to the
Flow Show with
Michelle and
Kelly.
What are we talking about today?
Hair care, skin care, body care, what you put on your skin, Michelle, right? Our esthetician of the world.
Yes, all this stuff, because what we put on our skin is just as important as what we put in our body.
Right. And what we became aware of is that while so many people have learned how to eat properly, eating organic food, using nice non-aluminum deodorants, more natural deodorants, that is some very common knowledge out there, which we're very happy to see. But as you can see, Michelle's gorgeous skin there from Texas and my pale skin here from Pennsylvania, I was reapplying my makeup just prior to this episode, and I was like, maybe we should really talk about this as well, because so many people aren't aware not only of the makeup, but some other things that particularly women do that causes us more toxins than we are aware of. And we're not trying to make you the naturals of the world, but there's a lot of natural beauty out there that we can accentuate with natural products and not have to tox ourselves out. So dry skin.
What do you use to moisturize your skin? Do you go and shop and get something over the counter that has an ingredient list this long? What do you use?
I do not, as you could probably guess. I do not. I use just plain old coconut oil. How about you?
And I throw some essential oils in there for whatever I'm feeling for the day. Well,
there you go. So that's interesting. We both use coconut oil and we never had that conversation. So now we know. Because for me, I have enough money to spend on many other things. Much as I love like skincare, body care, hair care, and I love smelling stuff. I love that. I choose to spend my money on stuff that's really good for me, so I don't have to spend money later getting it out of me.
Yes, our lymphatic system has hard enough time with all the environmental stuff that it has to deal with, so we don't need to dump more stuff on.
Right, exactly. And a lot of the lotions that you mentioned, like with that ingredient list, they have coloring in there. They have what are the other things?
Perfumes.
Perfumes. Thank you. And perfume, since we're talking about that, we both love this. This is our Flow oil. It's Serenity oil. And I've never been a smell like perfume person, but this.
It smells divine.
It really does. And it really settles you. So if you really need something, you can use an essential oil. It doesn't have to be this one. It can be any essential oil, but something that's more biological in nature, something that's natural, that's going to flow with your system. Yes. Not a bunch of, there are no regulations on perfumes. Did you know that? None.
Well, I believe it, because the organic brands have around 300 chemicals. Did you know that?
Perfumes, and there are so many lacking regulations. It boils down to us being educated consumers and finding resources to help us stay educated. I could never keep up with this industry in regards to, buy this brand and these ingredients are good and these ingredients are bad, because they're constantly coming out with new ingredients. They're calling them different names. They're changing it to either disguise us or to help us. I don't know, but regardless, I know you had mentioned something that your son uses that we should tell everybody about, and I use the EWG.org, but yours is way cooler and sexier name than EWG.org, which is the Environmental Working Group, which is a great nonprofit that you type in any product or any ingredient, and it'll tell you if that's a good, bad, or what the studies are on it and so forth. But yours is way better and more fun.
Well, it's an app. You just download it, and it's called Think Dirty, Shop Clean.
Nerdy.
And all you do, so you download this app, you pull it up, you're in the store, and say you're going to try a different deodorant. You scan the barcode and it'll pull up everything that's in it, and it'll give you the rating on how toxic that this product is. So
because we have to remember, folks, if we're putting it into our body or on our body, the lymphatic system is taking care of 80% of the toxic waste dumping in the body. So if it's not good for the body, the lymph system has to do it. So why would I choose to spend money on toxic stuff that I then have to give my body to work it out? Wouldn't it be a better choice to look at and know what I'm buying and vote with our dollars to demand that companies clean up their products? Because that's what this boils down to. We need to start voting with our dollars and demand a better, cleaner product comes out. And if not, then I'm not buying your product.
No, I just make my own. Like with the moisturizer, like what we do. We use coconut oil. I make my own deodorant. I use coconut oil and baking soda. and I'll throw in, say, some grapefruit for the lymph.
Right.
And yeah, so, and my son, he uses a charcoal deodorant. There are options. We just have to search for them. And if we don't like them, make our own.
Right. Or don't use it. I'm a big
that's
fan of not using deodorant. Now, I don't live in Texas, however, and when I'm down in our South Carolina home, I do tend to use a little Weleda spray, which is like a spray deodorant, because you sweat more when you're down there. There's a reality to that.
But the cleaner your system is, the less you smell. And sweat is good. I say, I heard this from someone, sweat is weakness leaving the body.
Yep.
That toxic load is causing us to be weak, and we don't want that. So we want to be able to sweat. So all of you out there that think that sweating, I don't need to sweat ever. No, sweating is good. That's one way of elimination for toxic load.
That's a societal shift we need to make, that armpit wetness makes you look weak or bad or whatever. That's just your body's working, getting its toxic load moving. And so now we've talked about hair, right? We didn't talk about hair yet. Hair coloring. Like, I'm not a natural blonde. I know I look natural blonde. She looks natural blonde, but I don't think either one of us are natural blondes.
Not even. You can see the roots right now.
Yeah. I purposely color my roots darker, but and the thing is, I can't even walk into those typical salons where people use the hair color because of the smell. But my salons that I've used for over 20 years, they only use organic hair coloring. And I know that because, one, when I get in my car and close all the doors, it doesn't smell.
Yes.
Number two, it doesn't burn my scalp.
I don't leave with a migraine, which I would.
Oh, yeah. A lot of my clients, I have them go do that because they couldn't color their hair because of migraines. And, it works the same. This fallacy that organic hair color doesn't work as well as regular hair color, a big fallacy, maybe 30 years ago, but not in 2020, folks. Wake up. Yeah. It's time to be aware that there's plenty of marketing going into why you shouldn't have organic hair color. And we're not paid marketers, but we're really telling you, please go and try natural organic hair coloring, because it works just as well. And again, with your dollars, like, I go out of my way. I know, Michelle, where do you have to go to? I have to drive 40 minutes to go get my hair colored at an organic salon. How about you?
And I have to drive all the way into downtown Dallas, and I'm north of Dallas. And if you know anything about the traffic here,
that's a solid hour she's traveling one direction to get her hair done.
I will drive, because that lady uses some of the top of the line stuff that's not going to mess with me, and she knows how I am, and so
that's
she
hair coloring.
accommodates me.
And that's hair coloring. So, that's touching our scalp. They're painting that onto our scalp. And so that's going into our skin, and our brain is really close to that scalp. Just saying.
You tell me, you said something earlier about before we started the show about part of the chemicals that would eat the brain. What was that?
Oh, the formaldehyde.
Yes. Yes.
Formaldehyde, which is one of the highest, that's often what they get to pull the color out that makes it lighter in color, is formaldehyde. And formaldehyde is a haloid, and it will put holes in your brain.
Lovely.
Like aluminum, by the way, will do the same. That's the top ingredient in most of the deodorants. So, and then nail coloring, nail polish remover. There are more natural ones that are, again, formaldehyde free. Yeah. But just be aware that the perfume, the cosmetic industry, they have no requirements on them whatsoever. They can put anything in anything, which can cause anything in your body. But we are saying, instead of doing that, be educated, go to EWG, go to Think Dirty Shop Clean, and get your lymph to flow by not adding to the problem of the lymph and allowing it to flow, because I don't have more of it to come to deal with what today was. I didn't put on mascara that was horrible for me, and deodorant that was horrible for me, and lotion that was horrible for me, and got my hair colored that was horrible for me. And now my body's got to deal with that for the next week to 10 days to 2 weeks for maybe even longer, depending on the residue deposits that are left in the body.
Right. Yes. And as an example of how it can sit in the body, I had a lady come in who I knew her lifestyle. She wanted to clean everything up. She's ready to change and make a shift in her life so that she can be healthy. 8 months in, she's seeing me for some lymphatic work because there was a lot to deal with. And all of a sudden, one day, we started smelling a smell. And it was a smell from Bath and Body Works. And I asked her, I said, and it was coming off of her knee. And I said, sweetie, how long has it been since you've put that kind of lotion or that kind of stuff on you? And she said, oh, it's been at least 8 months. That smell, that it was still embedded in her leg.
Well, and in the knee, why? Because the popliteal is a very important lymph node right behind the knee. And so it got so stagnant. The body was smart. The body stored it in areas where it wasn't like detrimental to the liver or to the kidneys or whatever, but it was clogging up the storage. It was clogging up her ability to flow and have flexibility and move on with her life. And so now, wow, 8 months later, it's still coming out. Of course.
It was like I just walked into the store. It was insane.
Yeah.
And I used to love that store.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, that was when I was a teenager. That was where you wanted to get the gift card because you wanted all the smelly stuff. And again, we love all that stuff. At Mother's Day, I said to my husband, please buy me some natural lotion or something besides coconut oil because I'm a little bored and I want to luxuriously like love my body. So he bought me this. It was called Mo Butter and it was organic and it was awesome. But a couple jars of it in a lip balm were $100. And it's awesome. But when you read the ingredients, it's like avocado and chocolate or cacao actually, and olive oil and grapefruit oil and all this great stuff that like when I open the container, I'm like, oh, I can eat it. And that's the great thing. I can. Like I could. And if you can't eat it, then you shouldn't put it on your skin. You shouldn't put it on your hair. You shouldn't put it on your nails. And again, we're not asking everybody to be the all natural gal like I am, perhaps, or Michele is making her own stuff. God, she bless her soul. I'm never making any soaps or deodorants. I can guarantee you that in my life. Chemistry class is over with. I took that at Cornell. I'm done. I have no interest in making anything like that at all ever again. So I am definitely going to be buying stuff, but that's good to know that there's plenty of companies out there that are good, and there's lots of options if you can't afford those or you don't want to afford those, that you can do it at home too. This doesn't have to be a costly thing. Same with cleaning products. I mean, we do a whole show about that, but just start paying attention to what you're putting on your skin so that what you're putting on has to flow out. So it's got to flow in because it's biological, and then it will flow out. If it's not biological, it doesn't flow out. We have to work it out. So we want to create less work for the body, right?
Correct. Yes.
So we want to flow more. Flow. Get in the flow with the flow. And we'll see you every Wednesday night on 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 East Coast Time, right here on the Flow Show. If you have any comments or questions, you want to know something specifically about your lymphatics, we're here to help you. We want to answer those questions for you. Let us know. Subscribe so you know when we're going to be here next. Hit the notification so you know when we are here, and share this with your friends. Please let them know how they can empower themselves, how they can help their bodies flow.
Yes, please share, because a lot of people just don't know, and they want the information.
Yes. Thank you, my co-partner and my partner in the flow life of Flow Show.
Now let's just keep it